This is from Politico.com this morning. This is brand new news to me and to you and to everyone. Totally new. Headline was, Inside the Secret $32 million Effort to Stop the Steal. Quote, a pair of progressive organizations operating in complete secrecy spearheaded a $32 million campaign during the midterms to push back against former President Donald Trump's Stop the Steal movement. The groups operated in states across the country as the election system faced unprecedented pressure from Trump and his allies, who falsely said the 2020 election was stolen. The veteran progressive operative behind the group says, quote, it was very clear that there was a mobilized constituency that cared about democracy in this election cycle, but it was on the wrong side. Donnelly said the goal of his funding network was to bring people to the fight, not just bring more policy wonks or bring more lawyers, to bring more people to the fight. We decided it wasn't going to be enough just to fund a bunch of election protection efforts or fund a bunch of candidates to run against election deniers. He said we needed to fund organization infrastructure to bring more heft to the battles on democracy. More heft, tens of millions of dollars of more heft. Joining us now is David Donnelly, veteran progressive operative behind the Pro-Democracy Center and Pro-Democracy Campaign, which I have to check against my notes because, indeed, these are organizations I had never heard of before today. Mr. Donnelly, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, Rachel.
Can you put a little bit of meat on the bones here in terms of what exactly you funded? This is a lot of money to have put into this election cycle. What were you funding and what were your priorities?
First, let me say that I believe there's a cast of thousands of people who helped to deliver these election results all across the country. I think Americans stood up for democracy and against those that would take us in the wrong direction and restrict democracy. The kind of work that our partners did, and frankly, I think a whole lot of credit belongs to the 126 groups that we supported. The kind of work they did spanned the spectrum from voter registration drives to turning out votes in all across the country. They advocated with election clerks to make sure that there were longer hours to cast ballots. They encouraged people to reach out to neighbors and to expand the voting rolls. And they worked on ballot questions, and they worked on other kinds of policy fights to make our democracy more reflective and responsive to all of us.
The thing there's two things that seem notable about this effort and the way that we're learning about it. One is that this does not seem to have been let's create a big new national organization that's going to train operatives centrally and then dispatch them into the states, which I think is a lot of what we sort of imagine a big, well-funded national, tens of millions of dollars effort might be like. This is very much supporting existing organizations in states and communities. So I'd like to ask you about that as a strategy. But the other reason that I'm talking to you tonight, and the other reason that I think this is getting a lot of attention today, is that we did not know about this until after the election was over. Why was this such a low-profile effort? Why were there no public announcements about this? Why aren't we finding about it until now?
We just simply didn't believe that we should promote work before we did it. We're under the impression that you should actually go prove yourself in the world before you claim any credit for the work that you've done. And we thought that our organizational partners in the states are the ones that were doing the hard work, and they're the ones that should be talking about their work. And many of them got great press coverage about all the work that they did to engage in Black and brown communities and young voters and the work that they did on policy. And we think that's a more important story to tell than the work that we did. We did work within the existing organizational structures. We didn't set up a whole lot of new organizations because there are great organizations working in communities all over the country. They needed more resources. I did a deep dive in the states in the summer of 21 to hear from leaders of local organizations and statewide organizations. And there was an appetite to work on democracy over the long term, but there was also a fear that unless they got to work urgently to tackle and to beat back the attacks against their ability to cast ballots, then we're going to not even have the long term to fight for. So we set out to help support them in the near term, but also to lay the groundwork for these organizations that are working in Black and brown communities and among young people to have a stronger leadership role on the questions of democracy over time.